The movie begins with a girl narrating her story while she was skiing in a snowy mountain. And in the stories that she's going to narrate, she was locked up by a guy. And the narration begins with a cute little girl dancing in the table in a pub, and everybody was applauding her. And a middle-aged guy cheerfully pick her up and kiss her on the forehead, saying to everybody that she is his daughter. Then we see the girl saying to father that they are going to be late and her mother will scold them. And in the following morning we learn that the girl's name is Natascha, and she was woken up by her mother. Her mother yells at her for being lazy and tell her that she is going to be late for her work. While Natascha is having breakfast, her mother notices her red eyes and asks her if she went out with her father to the pub last night again. Her mother started getting furious and started blaming her father. She tried to stop her, but her mother slaps her instead. When she was walking and crying on the way to her school, a white van stops beside her, and a man grabs her and lifts her inside the van. And he locked the girls inside a mysterious room with a multiple hidden pathway. Natascha then wake up after a while and look around the empty room only to find nobody there. She then check if anybody is there outside the room and cry hopelessly. The kidnapper then brings a mattress, prepare the bed for her, and leave some food beside the bed. In the next day the kidnapper brings some biscuit and read to her while she is eating. Natascha sincerely listened to the story he is reading while licking the biscuits. When the kidnapper is about to leave, Natascha tells her to give her a goodnight kiss like her mother used to do. He comes back and give her a kiss in the head and leave. In the following scene we see Natascha's mother and grandmother watching with tears the news about Natascha's disappearance. In the next scene we learn that the kidnapper name is Wolfgang. And when Wolfgang's mother stuffed some food for him in the fridge, he told his mother to bring for two next time. His mother was little surprised to hear this. When Wolfgang and his mother were watching the news about the abducted girl, his mother tells him who could have kidnapped such a cute little girl. To this Wolfgang reply, only a crazy people can do such thing. Later that night he washes Natascha's hair and scream at her that her parents do not love her and didn't care for her since they have been rejecting his calls. Natascha cries and tells him that they would not do such things. In the next morning, while Wolfgang is having breakfast with his mother and grandmother in the backyard, the doorbell suddenly rang. Two cops asked him if he has a white van, and he replied that he saw the news and he knows that somebody will surely comes to question him. The cops thoroughly searched the van and asked him some question, and left without suspecting him at all. The scene shifts to Natascha remembering her happy times with her dad, getting ready and taking photos with her mother. Wolfgang then brings food for her and fixed a telecom, so that he can hear everything from upstairs. It has been 183 days. We see Natascha stuffing some clothes in her chair and pretending to be a teacher and lecturing the students. She also draws a doorknob with a pencil and pretends to pull the knob down to open the door. Wolfgang then shouts through the telecom that she had brushed her teeth or not. When Wolfgang comes to give her food, she tries to run, but he catches her and shows her a small room and tells her that she will be staying there if she tries to run again. It has been already 4 years and Natascha is becoming slimmer, and she says to the telecom to bring something to eat that she has not eaten for the past 3 days. It's the 1695th day, and Wolfgang brings some clothes for her and asks her why she is sitting in such a weird posture. She tells her that she got her first period and asks him if she can take a shower upstairs. He takes her upstairs and tells her to do exactly what he says, if not he will kill her. He takes her to the bathroom and she undresses herself right in front of him. Wolfgang then waits while she is taking shower with the doors wide open. In the following scene, Wolfgang's mother asks him if he has been seeing some girl because she found a long blonde hair in his coat. Wolfgang then takes Natascha upstairs while his mother is not around and cut off all her hair. It is Christmas in 1837th days. Natascha is decorating the room and setting up the trees and waits for Wolfgang to come. Wolfgang comes and they wish each other Merry Christmas. They sit on a table and ask her to open the presents while he is filming. Natascha opened the presents and was delightful to see the Walkman and thanks him. He asks her to open the second present and she opens and found that it was the book she was meaning to read for so long. She tells him that she misses her family a lot, want to see them. Wolfgang tells her that he is her mother, father, and the only family she has now. He tells her that she can call him Wolfgang from now and her name is no longer Natascha but Viviana, and he will call her Vivi. In the next scene we see Vivi cleaning a room full of cement bag. Wolfgang tells her to take off her tops as she doesn't need it. She asks him if he is fixing the room to live with his girlfriend. He get angry and smash the cement bag with a hammer. He tells her that she is going to sleep with him tonight at upstairs in his room. When they enters the room, he asks her to show her hand and he tie her one hand to his and lie together. The scene then shifts to Wolfgang having a night out with his friends. As he was dancing he remembers Vivi and comes back. He tells Vivi to take off her shirt and forces himself to her, and started making love with her. After they finishes Vivi tells him that she wants to go to the garden. He takes her out and immediately takes her back to the same old room. In the next scene Wolfgang gave her a jeans and a shirt for her to look good, and take her out to the supermarket to buy paints for the new room. As they were looking around and shopping she saw a chance to escape. As she hesitates Wolfgang shows up instantly from behind. When she came back to her room she get angry hit herself in the head she for hesitating to escape when she get a chance. It is 2175th day, and Vivi is fixing the new room all by herself while Wolfgang films her. Vivi is surprised to hear in the radio about her disappearance after all this year. It says there has been no lead and no bodies has been found. This gives hope to her that they are still searching for her. In the next scene Wolf gave her a lingerie saying that it's their wedding night. Vivi puts on the lingerie and they lie together in the bed. Vivi asks him why he chose her. And then the scene drift back to her childhood when Wolfgang saw her for the very first time and she smiled at her that day. He confessed that from that day he spent a lot of time thinking about her and decided that he want her at that point and started to build the hidden room all by himself. He then holds her hand and start kissing and making love to her. Vivi is so frustrated that he tried to kill herself by burning her childhood clothes covering the entire room with smoke. But when he hears Wolfgang returning home he tries to clear the smoke by watering all over the place and spraying the room. When Wolfgang enters the rooms and smells something he takes her by the hair and beat her up very badly. She scribbles in a tissue paper how many times he has kicked her, punch her and slaps her. Wolfgang listened to her as she read what she is writing. It's the 2847th day and they have come for skiing. She fell down several times and Wolfgang helped her up repeatedly but she fails miserably. Vivi tells him that she want to go to washroom and before entering he check if there is anybody in the washroom. As she was sitting in the toilet seat she hears somebody flushing the toilet. She rushes out and try to explain to her who she is. But the woman doesn't understand anything what she says as she speak another language. She is absolutely helpless. It's the 2908th days and it's Viviana's 18th birthday. He gave her a dress as a present asked her put it on. They dance together with music playing in the background. Viviana start acting as a wife by preparing food, setting the table, and having the lunch together. In the next scene Wolfgang asks Vivi to assist him in cleaning the van. As they were cleaning Wolfgang receives a call and enters the house. Natascha then discovers an open gate and rushes outside. Shun runs fast and as far away as possible. Then she enters a women's home. She explains who she is to the lady but she doesn't understand much, so she calls the cops who arrives shortly. Then officer take her to the station and calls her mother. Both the parents arrive in the station to take her home. Meanwhile we see Wolfgang in a train track trying to kill himself. The film concludes with Natascha surrounded by media. She sits in the car staring out the window and says it was obvious that only one of us would live, and that it would be me, not him.